Hey BFDers, how you doing out there? This is the Butch Femme Discussion Channel, and I'm mainly Butch, your Wednesday Butch voice. So this week's topic is discrimination and haters and how those things play out in our lives, especially as Butches and Femmes, and being part of the Butch Femme dynamic. So let me kind of jump right into this. I feel like discrimination is something that we're always going to face in this world. You know, there's always going to be haters, you know, and the best thing that we can do is learn to tolerate them and ignore them. But at the same time, we need to stand up for our rights. So, you know, there are points where discrimination and hate can be fought, and I think that we need to fight them, okay? As far as discrimination goes in my life, you know, there's lots of it here and there. Let's see. I served in the United States military for 6 years when I was, from the time I was 18 till I was 24. And I served proudly, and I was very lucky that I did get thrown out for being gay, because they discriminate in the United States military against LGBT people. They don't allow you to serve openly. In my day, they didn't allow you to serve at all. There wasn't even a don't ask, don't tell policy. So I may have been a career soldier had I, you know, been able to serve and also live my life at the same time. But I decided that after 6 years that they'd had enough of my time, and I got my honorable discharge and got out. I had served my commitment, and that's all they were going to get out of me, you know, unless they were going to openly acknowledge that I had a right to a personal life. So I feel like I was discriminated against there. You know, I feel like as a butch that within the LGBT community I do get discriminated against also. There are, the majority of the LGBT community sees butches and femmes as being sometimes too out there, too visible. They try to tell us that we're trying to emulate heterosexual relationships by recreating the male-female sort of binary, when that's not at all what being butch femme is about. You know, I'm a butch. I'm not trying to be a man. Okay. Yes, I have very masculine traits and mannerisms, but I'm not trying to be a man. You know, if I was trying to be a man, I would consider myself transgender and not butch. So, and femmes have, you know, the discrimination of the femme invisibility. You know, they're not recognized. And, you know, unless they're on a butch's arm, you wouldn't know a lot of times that femmes are lesbians. And, you know, so they do suffer from that. And that, you know, that happens across the community, I think. Other discrimination that's come into my life, I was dating a girl a couple of years ago, and her 16-year-old daughter had a mental health crisis, and we took her to the local hospital, and you know, we were living together at the time in a temporary situation sort of thing, and you know, I was part of this child's life every day and had been doing a lot of work with the kid, and we went to the hospital, and the hospital, you know, doctor, the doctor must have been maybe 26 or 28, he wasn't very old, very jockish sort of guy, you know. As a matter of fact, he came in carrying his basketball bag and stuff before he got in his scrubs and came in to see the kid. You know, he came into the room, and you know, we were all fine for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then he looked at me and said, "And who are you?" And the woman that I was dating, the femme that I was dating at the time, said, "You know, this is my partner." And he said, "Business partner?" And she says, "No, life partner. You know, we're lovers." And he immediately asked me to leave, said that I wasn't family, that I had no right to be there, and my butch temper got a hold of me, and I kind of exploded on the guy and exploded on the hospital administrator, and, you know, I just couldn't believe that we were being discriminated against because we were in a same-sex relationship. That happened in Utah. So I have to say, you know, I'm not saying all of Utah is backwards, but this happened in southern Utah, and it definitely wasn't a good feeling. It was the worst I think I had ever been openly discriminated against in my life. And it made me very, very angry. And, you know, I probably still haven't let go of that anger about that to this day. So, you know, this guy wanted to call security guards and all kinds of stuff. So it was bizarre. I also feel like I suffer somewhat discrimination within my own community. Being an out and loud butch, you know, a lot of the majority community sees the butch femme dynamic as a little bit threatening, I think, and thus they don't understand it, and they just think it's a bunch of labels. And they also think that we're a little bit too out for them, you know, that we don't, I don't look straight enough, I don't look womanly enough, and my partner, because I always date femmes, would not look gay enough. So we get the, you know, sort of discrimination from within the community about that. That type of discrimination, I think, hurts worse, you know, because it's coming from within your own community than discrimination and haters from outside the community. You know, you can handle them, but when somebody that's, you know, just as gay as you are tries to tell you that you're either too gay or not gay enough, that's, you know, that starts to hurt, you know. They also don't like the way that butch femme seems to remind them of a heterosexual relationship. Well, you know, my dog is screaming. Sorry about that. I had to cut that video short. My dog was outside crying, and we needed to get out there and see what was going on. And she was fine. She was just making a lot of racket. So discrimination is what we were talking about, and you know, I think I've pretty much given, you know, the stuff that's happened to me. There's been, you know, minor incidents here and there over the years where you get discriminated against, or you get the haters, especially you get the YouTube haters, you know, and we all know about them. I don't pay attention to the YouTube haters. I just ignore them, you know, especially the ones that want to come at you with the religious bullshit. So, you know, my advice to everybody out there is to ignore them, delete them, block them, you know, that type of stuff with the haters. Discrimination, everybody needs to fight against. Everybody needs to stand up for their own rights, and everybody needs to know what's right for them. There's no glory in just standing back and taking discrimination, you know. The glory is in taking action and fighting against it. So that's my video for this week on discrimination, and I think I got across pretty much everything. Sorry I'm late posting this. I've had kind of a hellish day, but here it is. It's up, and I know the first half of my video was a lot of ums. I think I was in kind of a funky mood, I think, when I filmed it, and I just couldn't get words out of my mouth. So I apologize for all of the ums today. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week, and you know, you're all looking forward to the upcoming weekend. And again, I'm sorry for posting late. I hope everybody's doing well. Deuces.